Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to my photography podcast, Focus Recompose. I was just looking at the last episode, and it's been a long time. So this is the return of my podcast. And just so you guys know, I am going to be returning a lot of shows that have not been around in a long time by popular request, some by me. And this is just one of many, so you better strap yourself in. We have new series coming, guys, and we have returning episodes and podcasts and series as well. So they're not always fully gone. They just may take a break, but they always come back, right? Murray and Jay Waite has always been about that and always stands by his own shows. So there's a lot going on. It's always gets crazy around here, but I don't ever really discontinue shows, very rarely. They usually always make a return, and this is definitely one of them. And we have a whole season planned, a whole return to the season. I have lots of great topics to talk about because, let's face it, there's a lot to photography, both the editing side, the shooting side, lighting, studios, camera gear, camera tech. And today we're going to talk about drones. We're going to talk everything flying up in the air, right? Everything about drones, and particularly DJI. Matter of fact, it's sitting right here with me. This is the Mavic Mini. This is the Fly More combo. I test a lot of drones. I shoot a lot of drones. I do a lot of photography with drones. I do a lot of video, and I take a lot of the big boys out. A lot of the big, heavy ones. Mostly DJI. Some other companies. But most of them are DJI. I'm friends with a lot of the guys in DJI. I talk with a lot of them. I test a lot of their products out. I may even have one of the guys from DJI on the channel. Be great to get him on this podcast. I'm working on it. But I've been doing a lot with the Phantoms. So I'm a big Phantom guy. Phantom 3, Phantom 4, Phantom 3 Professional. And I take the Phantoms out, and they're beautiful drones. And a lot of times when I need something, it's more than enough for me than one of these, expensive drones. I mean, they're expensive, but they've actually went up in price. The Phantom is really in demand. They're hard to come by now. Back when I bought them and was using them, they weren't. They were easy to get. B&H, Adorama, Amazon. But now they're the drone to own because a lot of them is the Mavic series now. So, I said to myself, well, the minis are cool, but I have all these other drones. It wasn't until recently that I went on a shoot with somebody, a great friend of mine. Matter of fact, a friend of mine that I've known for about 20-something years. And we were talking when we were computer buddies back in the day. Built computers. He actually is one of the guys that I was talking about on my channel that actually ran his own internet service around here back when it was dial-up. We had like the first email. Back when the internet had no pictures. It was all text. Netscape Navigator days. Anyway, long story short, he came over with his son. And he goes, I'm getting into drones. I said, what drone are you getting into? He goes, the DJI line. I said, you went with the best. You went with the big boys. I've been flying DJI for God knows how long. He had the Mavic. He took it out, and I said, man. And it's 249 grams, so it's right under the limit that you don't have to register it. Like I have to register all my other drones. You don't have to register it. It's under the weight limit. It's so freaking small and so freaking light and fast. It doesn't have any of the sensors or anything like that, but it uses the DJI Fly app, which is an excellent app, but more on that later. But I actually use an app called Lychee, which really lets you do everything. It really lets it's almost like the best way I describe it is it's like a jailbroken app, like a jailbroken phone. It lets you do a lot of things that are capped and restricted from the DJI software. You could use virtual headsets. You could do a lot of things. A lot more control of your drone with the Lychee app. It's paid. It's a paid app, but it's worth every penny. So anyway, long story short, he was using it. We were flying, and I said, "Dude, as many times as I've flown and seen these things and did shows on them, and had my buddies have one in their bag because it could fit right in a camera bag." I said, you know what? I had spent the day with it. I spent the day seeing him with it. I said, you know what? I got to get one. The price had gone down. He said, well, don't get the drone. Don't get just the drone. Get the Fly More combo. You get the extra batteries, a nice case. You get extra propellers, this, that, this. Nice controller. And I did. And I'm glad I did. And I fell in love with it. And he gave me the controller and he said, here, take the day with it. It's like a car, and the salesman says, take a test drive for it, all day. Take it. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm a gadget freak. I'm a nut freak. I could have 50 of the same thing and buy it again. Or something that's like slightly different. Just the way I am. Just the way I'm built. My brain. So I said, yeah. I mean, I got drones that do this better. I got drones that do the same thing. But I said, you know what? Fuck it. I want to get one. And I did. And I went on Amazon. They had a phenomenal deal. Phenomenal. Got a really nice memory card. And I got the DJI Mavic Mini. And you know what? I notice it's become the workhorse. I bought it just to mess around with, just to have it, and just to when I'm home or whatever. It's become the workhorse. It's become the drone that I take everywhere because the results are very similar to everything else. It's light. It's compact. I can stick it in my camera bag. It doesn't take up much space, even if I bring the whole case separately. It's instant. It doesn't use that old clunky DJI Go app. It's fast. It connects to the network. It's got the GPS. It's got the return to home. It's got all that. It's very safe. And I love it. It does everything. It's freaking fast. It goes up really fast, high. It comes down really nice and easy. You could do hand releases. It's sturdy. It's durable. It's nice. It's nice on location when you're on the go, when you have to quick run to a job, and I don't have to bring as much gear either. Now, the other only thing is that they said, well, Sean, you have to be careful. These are what all these big YouTubers, a lot of these big YouTubers were saying, and a lot of these experienced drone people. I own every drone. I put 1,000 hours in flying. And I'm telling you this, you got to watch with the Mavic Mini, because you will lose it and you will crash it. The wind will take it. It can't fight the wind. You'll think it's calm, and you'll get up there high enough, couple 100 feet, and you'll hit a wind spot, and your Mavic Mini will be gone. Ooh! Shut up. Never had a problem. But then again, I'm an experienced person. But I don't even mean experienced flying. I mean, I have a brain. First of all, the Mavic Mini in the wind isn't as bad as they're saying. They're making it like a gust of wind comes and your Mavic's gone. No. No. I've flown the big one Mavics. I've flown the Phantoms. I've flown Parrots. I've flown a lot of different drones. Yeah. They fight the wind a lot better. But it's not uncontrollable at all. I use apps that actually tell you the wind direction, when it's safe to fly, an actual app that tells you. And I don't go above the limits. You know, I don't go above 400 feet. I don't fly, in restricted areas. I'm safe. And I haven't had a problem. I'm not going to go out in a storm, and I'm real fanatic. I see a little bit of lightning a mile away, and I don't take the drone out. It's got to be perfect conditions for me. It's just the way I am. So that's never really been a problem. And if I ever hit, if anything gets like funky, that baby's coming home, So for me, my personal experience, and I've already been through a lot of different weather conditions with the Mavic Mini, testing it. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. I mean, the GPS, the technology, it's spot on. It's up there with the rest. You can see that DJI quality. So, I like it. Is it 4K? No, it's 2.7. You don't fucking notice. The video looks fantastic. There's options to change in the menus. You can even change the way the gimbal tilts. There's a lot of things that you change, like, what is it? The return to home is set like 65. That's disaster in the making, because I live in northern Jersey, and there's a lot of parks and woods here and tall trees. So I set that higher. I haven't had a problem. But, yeah. What else? You got to definitely do some changes. You got to definitely do some software changes. Like I said, the Lychee app is really good. You could do a lot of cool stuff. You could really do some cool drone stuff. Tweaking. Especially if you're a nitpicker, especially if you don't like anything out of the box and you don't like the factory defaults. And I'm not talking like illegal stuff, but a lot of the restrictions, like that the Go and Fly apps don't let you do, or don't let you have control of, that you should. The Lychee app is good, but like I said, the best is the virtual headset. I have the goggles, and you could do a lot with it that you can't with the other DJI apps. The DJI apps are fine. The Fly app is pretty good. I use that a lot too, to like update the software, the firmware, both of the controller and the drone itself. There's also a smart controller, but it's awfully expensive, that you could use with multiple drones, and they have a update now for the Mini. But it's a great little sucker. Let's see here. I'm actually going to go out flying today because I got to do some real estate stuff. Again, it's great for that, and great for weddings too. It's become. You got to see how many weddings I do, and the first thing they say is, "Can you do drone shots?" It is in demand. So there you go. Got the little wall hub USB there too. It's funny too because I look at this and then I look at that big Phantom case I have. There's still some accessories. I gotta get the range extender. Yeah, I gotta get the range extender for the controller antennas. Very small stuff. Very small stuff. The little feet extenders. Now, mind you, if you add some stuff to this, it's going to go above the 249. It's going to go above the weight limit. So you got to be careful. I took my, the 107? I got my drone license, my certified commercial license. I took that. I'm certified. I do a lot of commercial. I do a lot of business. So I do all that. I've been flying for a long time. Yeah, I wanted to talk about drones on here because we haven't talked about drones on this photography podcast. I think you guys are going to want to really be interested in some of the topics we're going to be talking about here on this show. I got great stuff. Don't forget, I have listen, guys, for my post processing people, I have a show dedicated to Adobe Photoshop, where I go in-depth in tutorials. I teach all around the world. I teach photography, Photoshop workshops. I do private tutorials, private teaching, house to house. And I have, I'm doing a job right now for a big business, doing their photo editing for them, doing a lot of commercial work for them. Retouching, restoration of old photos, wedding retouching, portrait retouching, skin retouching, advertisements, cloning, compositing. So I have a dedicated playlist. I think I call it Season 1 and Season 2. And Season 3 is starting up very soon. All new Photoshop stuff. I got the new suite, the new master collection from Adobe. New for the year. So with the Adobe Cloud, that's always updating. A refresher course on that. So you want to stay tuned to that. That's a separate series. That's a separate show. This, we just chat about everything. We chat about cameras. We chat about photography. I've been doing a lot of shooting. I just shot my little cousin's dance recital. It was cute. Shooting kids is always fun. It's challenging. So is pets. Weddings are always fun. But on this topic, I've been doing a lot of drone shooting. I'll have to maybe post some pictures on Twitter. I have to see. At Sean Murray NJ, I'm always posting stuff that I'm doing out and about. I'm going out with some of the guys from DJI again next week. We got some other drones we're going to be shooting. I got to ask about some drones. So there you go. That's going to wrap up this show. That's going to wrap up this podcast. I had a lot of fun talking. That's my impressions. And hopefully we'll have some episodes in the near future talking about some other topics, maybe talking about some camera models. Comment below and always ask me, for questions and topics and ideas. Help me out here. I got a lot going on. And I'll take whatever into consideration. Take care, guys, and I hope to see you on future episodes of Focus Recompose, my photography podcast show. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for listening to me jibber jabber. And I hope to see you again soon. Stay safe. Be well. Take care.